accomplished writer. She's also writing a book as well right now, and she's a very young girl as well too. She has dedicated her life to empowering younger people. She's gone through a lot of adversities in her lifetime and wants to make sure that for you guys, things aren't as tough, and you have someone to talk to, and someone to talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, please, if you want to stand up, if you want to stomp your feet, if you want to clap them loud, do whatever you possibly can to give a very warm welcome to a dear friend of mine and a great inspiration to our community, Miss Pauleanna Reid!
Hi everyone, I'm so happy to be here today. But most importantly, I'm inspired by the energy in this room because we are sharing the same space with other dreamers, believers, doers, and thinkers.
This is my personal testimony which will show all of you that no matter how hard life may seem right now, no matter what obstacles or challenges or walls you are up against, I want you all to know that there is always a solution and the best of life is yet to come. I wanted to do this because I know very well that there are women and girls, whether within this room or around the world, who are currently experiencing some of the circumstances that I once did. Because it wasn't that long ago that I was your age, and I remember approaching my teenage years feeling convinced that I was fat and ugly. Every single day I would wake up, get ready for school, and I hated the reflection that stared back at me when I looked into the mirror. I had bushy eyebrows paired with big, dull brown eyes, a broad nose, thick lips, and a boyish-looking figure. And I just could not see the beauty in any of these traits. So needless to say, my teenage years were some of the roughest years of my life. And high school wasn't that easy either. I was bullied and made fun of for the way I walked, talked, dressed, and who I hung out with. I was alienated and tormented so much that I made a personal decision not to attend my high school prom or my high school graduation ceremony either. The only places I ever felt safe in this world was when I was eating lunch by myself.
Personally, I can relate to her story, and I feel like her going up and having the courage to actually talk to that amongst a group of women who I'm sure have felt as personally to the situation as I do. I feel like she definitely touched a lot of people, and it definitely made an impact, and I'm really proud of her for doing that and crying on stage. She has a lot of guts, and I hope to be like her one day.
Was when I was eating lunch by myself, either the library, the cafeteria, or quietly in one of the stalls of the girls' washroom. From grade 9 up until grade 12, 4 years of my life, there were many nights where I cried myself to sleep or woke up the next day hoping to die because I was so tired of the negativity that surrounded me. However, in order to temporarily escape from my crazy life, I wrote into a diary every single day. How many of you have a journal or a diary or like to write things down through poetry, whatever the case may be? I loved writing in my diary because it was therapeutic and I could vent and say whatever the heck I wanted to without any interruptions from anyone. And so during this time is when I fell in love with writing because it was something that I was good at and I knew it was a career choice that I wanted to explore. So my biggest dream as a teenager was to become a professional writer. While my peers aspired to be police officers, princesses, lawyers, and doctors, I had my heart set on the creative arts field and becoming a writer in whatever capacity, whether that was writing for newspapers, whether that was writing for magazines, or even becoming an author and writing my own books. But whenever I would express this thought, I received a lot of negativity and backlash from my friends, my family members, and even my teachers who doubted my capabilities and told me several times to my face that I'd never make it in that industry. To my friends, becoming a writer was not the cool thing to do. To my family members, becoming a writer was not a financially stable career choice. And to my teachers, my grades simply weren't good enough. So negativity and lack of support were my first obstacles. When you have 1,000 no's coming at you all at once, it doesn't exactly inspire you to move forward. So I graduated from high school feeling very low and confused. And instead of following my heart and pursuing my passion, I gave in to everyone's doubts and I chose or entered a college program that was selected by my parents and was not a true representation of the type of woman I aspired to be.
I don't know her personally, but I think she did a really wonderful job in speaking in front of everyone, and I thought she seemed really genuine. Like, a lot of people, they say stuff, it doesn't sound true, or like it sounds like they're dramatizing it, but you could definitely feel that she's coming from an honest place, and I respected that a lot, and I really admire her, actually.
My freshman year in college is when I started to experience symptoms of depression and anxiety. For those of you who do not know what depression is, it's a mental illness that leaves you feeling very, very sad. But much deeper than a state of unhappiness, this particular mental illness leaves you feeling hopeless, leaves you feeling as if you have a lack of energy, and you lose interest in doing absolutely everything. Statistics show that 1 out of every 5 Canadians will suffer from a mental illness at one point during their lifetime. And during my freshman year in college, I definitely fell into this category. As depression ate away at me, I didn't tell anyone either, because I didn't want people to think that I was crazy or that something was wrong with me. So I slapped on a fake smile every single day and pretended as if everything was fine. But you know what? It wasn't. And that wasn't necessarily the right thing to do. It wasn't healthy for me to keep everything inside. But as I continued to pursue this diploma, I lacked focus. And it showed in my grades, my work ethic, and my attendance. There were many times where I would stay in bed for days, I would shut off friends and family, and I was constantly worried about whether or not I'd even make it to the next day. There were just too many times where I was walking into a classroom feeling a lack of inspiration and motivation. I was frustrated, and I felt very trapped because I was giving into the lifestyle that everyone else wanted for me instead of pursuing my dreams. And that was a huge problem for me. And as depression continued to eat away at me, I started to hear voices. And my thoughts were telling me that if I was not going to live a life filled with passion and love, if I was not able to pursue my dreams, then what was the point of existing? What was the point of being here on this earth? What was my purpose? If everyone was telling me that, oh, you can't be a writer, you suck at writing, you have no talents, you're ugly, you're this, you're that, what kind of life would that be? I didn't want to live in misery for the rest of my life, so I decided that I was going to end my life. And I tried to commit suicide twice, but I had 2 failed attempts. But when God spared my life on those occasions, I then realized that, hey, wait, maybe I do have a place here on this earth. Maybe I do have a purpose. And you know what? I prayed about it, I held on to faith, and I made the decision that I was going to turn the page of my life story and enter a new chapter and figure out exactly what that purpose God had for me was. And so I finally opened up. I spoke to my pastor, I spoke to doctors, I went on medication to help me with this mental illness. And over time, I gained the confidence and courage to step into my light. And I finally told myself one day that this is my life and my dreams are worth it. Let me hear you guys say that. This is my life and my dreams are worth it.
This is my life and my dreams are worth it. Wow.
So I knew that in order to become a professional writer, I knew that it wasn't going to happen overnight. I knew that there was a lot of work to be done. So that meant that I had to come up with a winning strategy. And the first step of that winning strategy was to create a vision board. So one day I went to the dollar store, I picked up the biggest piece of Bristol board I could find, and when I got home, I started writing down everything that had ever inspired me, and all of my goals and my dreams, etc. And I started off really simple, with really small goals. I wanted to learn how to be more sociable and make new friends. I wanted to work on my confidence and self-esteem. I also wanted to learn better time management skills and anger management skills as well. And so as I continued writing, my ideas got bigger, better, and brighter. And I then started writing down things like, I want to teach myself how to design my own website. I want to write a book. I want to learn a new language. I want to travel the world. I want to start a business. But most importantly, the #1 goal on my list was to find a mentor. Find someone who could add value to my life. Find someone who could help direct my career path. And someone who could uplift, motivate, and inspire me to become the best version of myself. And one of the biggest lessons in my life that I have learned is that slow motion is better than no motion, and to always focus on the next positive step. And I tell you, the minute I learned to change my attitudes, when I became a magnet of amazing things. And eventually, windows of opportunity did open up for me. And several months after I created that vision board, I was introduced to several mentors. And one of them are here today, and I would definitely like you guys to give a round of applause to Shannon Boojum just for being awesome. Shannon taught me how to study my craft. Shannon taught me how to study my craft, utilize my talents, and attack my dreams with an aggressive attitude and a newfound confidence. And if it wasn't for Shannon, I would not be where I am today, because she laid the foundation for me that helps me accomplish all that I have. So let's give her another round of applause. And when times got really, really tough, Shannon was always there for me, encouraging me and motivating me. And she would always remind me that every great artist was once an amateur and that baby steps were still progress. And it was through Shannon that I learned the importance of building bridges with people and building relationships and not putting up walls. And I learned the value of friendships. And I learned the value of staying positive. And if there's one lesson that I want you all to take away today, is that life is not a popularity contest. True, when it comes to friendships, make sure that you're choosing quality over quantity. I'm not done with you yet. Make sure that you're choosing quality over quantity. Make sure that you're surrounding yourselves with people who lift you higher, people who have a positive impact on your life. This woman right here, she's my angel. She gave me wings to fly. She was there for me when no one else was, and she supported me when no one else did. And for that, Shannon, I just want to publicly thank you and acknowledge you for all of the work that you're doing in the community and all the work that you've done in my life. And I want you to know that I will never, ever forget it. And you have changed my life in so many ways. So I just want to say thank you and give you these flowers just as a thank you. I don't know. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Usually I would be very shy and people would bully me for the way I walked and talked and who I hang out with. So now I understand that I shouldn't care what other people think and I should just do my own thing and not worry about how I am right now and worry about the future.
I shared this story with you today because I need you all to understand that you should never, ever, under any circumstances, abandon your dreams, your goals, or your values, because anything that you love is worth fighting for. Today I am living my dreams and I am constantly chasing new goals and new passions. I can confidently tell you that I am a nationally published journalist who has interviewed celebrities across the world. My news reports are regularly published inside the pages of the National Post, the Toronto Star, the Toronto Sun, and the Vancouver Sun. I just finished writing my first book, and thank you. And I successfully co-own and co-operate a business in the fashion industry. But above all else, the accomplishment that I am most proud of is the fact that I have dedicated my life towards empowering women and girls and helping them see beyond the limits of their circumstances through mentorships, volunteering, and public speaking. My success is the result of persistence and passion. But today is your day. Today is your day to break through any barriers and rise above any obstacles that may be holding you back from reaching your highest potential. Today is your day to take advantage of the opportunities that lie before you and become the best you possible. Thank you.
So we just heard Pauleanna's speech and it was absolutely riveting, and I hardly use that word because I hate R words, but it was ravishing and radiant and not redundant. It was absolutely spectacular. I'm so proud of her. She is such a strong and powerful woman and even more of an incredible public speaker. I think for the young girls there today, there were some teary eyes in the audience, a lot of girls nodding their heads. I think that she definitely changed a lot of young girls' lives today, and I'm really happy to have been one of the old girls who also had their life changed as well.
Pauleanna Reid, what can I say? That name has so much power in itself. I'm really, really touched by her speech that she just gave at Rise Above. It was incredible, it was moving, it was groundbreaking, and it was just everything I needed to hear as an adult, and I'm sure the young girls needed to hear as well. It's really important for us to be vulnerable and constantly express ourselves and use our voices and articulate our feelings. Show that it's okay to have a voice and show that it's okay to occupy spaces and speak. So Pauleanna, I'm proud of you. I love you. 7 years going on 8. Keep doing it and keep representing.